இயர்ஃபோன் எனக்கு கொடுக்குறியா கொஞ்சம்? அத்தாட்ட கண்ணா இன்னொரு 2 நிமிஷம் உட்காந்து.
Who have joined early, we are early, but it's always good to be an early bird. We'll wait for some more friends to join us today, as this is a very special program. So please, let's be patient and wait for a couple of more minutes, okay? Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. I am Rosie, your host for today. And I gladly welcome each of you who could join us today. Thank you for your time, that you have spared your time to join with us in this very special program. This is the day that we have all been anticipating, and I am elated to celebrate this magnificent occasion, the book release of AMEND by Heigomzoing Zeliang. I know we have been waiting for this. Some of us, we have been excited, curious to know, and the day is finally here. So brace yourselves up, everyone. Let me quickly classify the program for today. Take Me to Church by K.E. Zeliang. Then we have the words from friends, Paul Rengma, Philachan Moiva, and Ketenlo Mesen. Next, we have words from family by Mahi Zeliang. Then the book release will be done by Dr. Sujata Evangeline Ramani. We have words from recipients: H. Rosemary, Aselu, and Hingaile Hiram. Then we have One More Light by Wepezo Mero. Then finally, we have the author's response, our very own author, Heigomzoing Zeliang. So this is going to be the program that we are going to follow this very afternoon. To start off, I would like to give the time to Kei Zeliang. One more. Take Me to Church. Yes, Kei Zeliang, I would like you to take this time for Take Me to Church. There seems to be some glitches, but let's wait. Kei Zeliang, if you're there, I would like to give the time to you for the presentation of Take Me to Church.
My lover's got a humor. He's the evil at a funeral. Cause everybody's disapproval. I should have worshipped her sooner. If the heavens ever did speak, he's the last true mouthpiece. Every Sunday's getting more bleak. A fresh reason each week. We were born sick. You heard them say it. My church over no absolute. She tells me worship in the bedroom. The only heaven I'll be sent to is when I'm alone with you. I was born sick, but I love it. Command me to be well. Amen. 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 Take me to church, I'll worship like a dog at the straight of your lies. I'll tell you my sins so you can sharpen your knife. Open me my deathless dead. Good God, let me give you my life. Take me to church, I'll worship like a dog at the straight of your lies. I'll tell you my sins so you can sharpen your knife. Open me my deathless dead. Good God, let me give you my life. If I'm a beacon of the good times, my lover's this side, my lover's this side, right? Keep the God on my side. He demands a sacrifice. When I all see, got something shiny, something needed for the main course. That's the fine looking high horse. Watch it right in the stable with a lot of stuff faithful. That looks tasty, that looks plenty. This is hungry world. Take me to church, I'll worship like a dog at the straight of your lies. I'll tell you my sins so you can sharpen your knife. Open me my deathless death. Good God, let me give you my life. Take me to church, I'll worship like a dog at the straight of your lies. I'll tell you my sins so you can sharpen your knife. Offer me my deathless death. Good God, let me give you my life. No masters or king, when the rituals begin, there is no sweeter innocence than our gentle skin. In the madness and soul church, I'll worship like a dog at the strength of your life. I'll tell you my sin so you can sharpen your knife. Offer me my deathless death. Good God, let me give you my life. Take me to church, I'll worship like a dog at the strength of your life. I'll tell you my sin so you can sharpen your knife. Offer me my deathless death. Good God, let me give you my life.
Thank you so much, Kei Zeliang. Such a beautiful voice. If only we had voice like hers. Such a great performance. Thank you again. Now we have words from friends. First off, I would like to give the time to Paul Rengma.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
All right. Very good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Seems like we are few of us, but then we are very special and then lucky to be here in this very book launch program. I'm very happy and excited, but then I'm not surprised because Heigom is one of my closest friends, and then I know him very well, and then he's very keen to write or jot down like whatever comes to his mind. And that's what finally made him today. And then we all are here. Like, I don't need to say that he's keen to write or something like that, or someone always there at the table writing something. But then we have seen him, and he's that very kind of person. And for that, we are here today. We have known each other for more than, I think, about 10 years, just say about 10 years. We know each other. And then we share, we share everything. The thing is that we quarrel sometimes, but then we did not fight. That's the only thing. Otherwise, we have done everything. And then we are like more than brothers. Sometimes we don't share, things to our own brother, but then we managed to share, since we were living together in the same in different colleges for more than 7-8 years, and then we are still good friends. So I'm very happy to be here today to say some few words, regarding, since today is a very special day. We all know that he has published a book and then he's releasing today, and I'm very excited. At the same time, I'm waiting, to read the very book. I haven't, received, but then I'm patiently waiting for the book. And then hopefully, like whatever he writes down, is always inspiring. Like we could always see him in the Facebook as well. He used to post like different kinds of proverbs, collections from the wise men, from scholars and all. So clearly, I learned a lot from him as a close friend and as a classmate, as a roommate and all. Now, whatever I know, I will share to him. Whatever he knows, we will always share together. Even in our research or whatever, in bad things or good things, we always share one another, and then we are always there for one another. That's a bonus point I want to say. And then I just want to, really appreciate him. I should say, he's a very young man, and then a very prolific writer, and a thinker. A person who doesn't think much won't, come up with this kind of publication. It is only people, person who think, right? They are the people who are able to bring something in a shape of a book, right? So I should say he's a thinker, a writer, and he's a human being. One good thing about him is he's good at heart. He always share whatever he have, whether be it little or much. We share one another. Be it a pickle, just starting from pickle. Be it just a dot of pickle, we just share one another and then we eat. So that's what his heart is like. He's a very good human being. And then as I have mentioned, he's very young. And then he is just an initial point, and hopefully this publication will lead him to another third, another second, third, fourth, fifth kind of publication. This is what I believe. And then he has not started lately, but then he has started at the right time, I should say, because he is ahead of us, way ahead of us. I haven't published a book. I haven't written a book apart from my dissertation and all, but then he has come up with this kind of book publication, and I'm very much happy and have to have a friend like him. And then I wish him all the best, and I wish him all success, and then good luck in his writing career, I should say. He will be a kind of professor, but then still then he will be involving in this kind of academic world, and then he will be writing and publishing so many books. So this is what I would like to congratulate him and also wish him all the best. And then I believe whoever are here, please share the news, good news to your friends, and then have the book, and then let us help him, right? Help one another, and that's how we will grow up. We will continue to serve the people and the society. Yeah, thank you so much for the time. Yeah, God bless.
Thank you so much, Paul, for describing our author very candidly. Now, up next, we have Filachan Moiva, who may take the time now.
Okay, all right. Hello, good afternoon, everyone. Yes, thank you so much for the opportunity. And well, firstly, congratulations to my dear friend, Mr. Heigomzoing Zeliang. You have done remarkably. Thank you for being a close friend of mine. I couldn't be more proud than this. Yes, thank you for making me a part of your life. It's amazing what we have accomplished. Your hard work, your dedication and commitment along the journey has, a huge role in my life. Yes, everyone has a great story to tell, to inspire and to live. Yes, the inspirations that I have perceived and attained from your life is priceless. And, no one else would have even done it the way you have done it, right? So your perseverance have taught me a great lesson in my life as well. And as your friend, I could have done anything, but to be celebrating the achievement and success is one great gift of life I would consider thus far. Yes, you have more potential than you think. Keep challenging yourself and pushing, beyond and soar even higher. As a loved and near one celebrate this day of milestone, we also wish for your future endeavors, and we wish you the best in all things you do. Again, congratulations, Mr. Heigomzoing Zeliang. May the Lord be with you always. Thank you so much for the time.
Thank you, Filachan Moiva, for the words of advice and at the same time for the many wishes you have for the author. Next, we have Ketenlo Mesen, who may take the time. I repeat, up next we have Ketenlo Mesen. Okay, maybe at the moment is not there. Ketenlo Mesen, you may take the time now.
Yes. Hello. Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Okay. I think yeah. Okay. Yeah. Actually, I sent my video recording to the people. Okay. Okay. Then let me speak on live. Well, thank you so much. Okay. I give my warm greetings to all of you, whoever are seated behind the screen. And thank you so much for giving me this time to speak a few words about my friend Heigomzoing Zeliang. I call him Heigom. Anyway, I want my friend Heigom to know that I feel so proud of you today, that your dream of writing this book have come true. I know how much you have struggled while you were writing this book, and I feel like I should tell your story, or I should say the author story of how he started to write his first fictional book and how he struggled in the midst of writing this AMEND book. Because there is a saying that we came to know the person by his or her success, but we don't really understand the struggle and pain behind the success. And so I would like to take this moment, and to share a few stories about our friend Hekom, because I know, and then we were staying together in Bangalore, and when he was writing his first fictional book, and I've also already told him that when he was writing this book, I told him that when you complete this book and publish it, I will tell the people that how much you have struggled to write this book. And so I believe this is the moment for me as well, to tell about your story. Anyway, before that, I assume that most of us present here are a friend of Heigomzoing Zeliang. And so I believe most of us know, what type of person he is. But in case if you don't really know him well, then he is a very cool type of person. He is also a very shy person and very introvert person. He don't speak too much and also never speak ill about other person, and a very humble and a positive type of person. He also loves to help other people, so that is his nature. So that is Heigom, like a very cool person, very shy and then introvert in character. Anyway, I'm very much grateful that I have a good friend like him. I think if I remember correctly, it was in the year 2015. He came to me and then he said to me that he wants to be a writer, and surely he said one day he will become a writer. And beginning from that year, I saw him dedicating himself into reading and writing, and that's how today we witness the fruit of his hard work and dedications. About writing, actually he was so much into academic writing. So basically, the book AMEND is his first fictional book. I remember he started to write this AMEND book in the year 2019, before the lockdown, but probably it was at the end of the year. So I still remember, he came to me and then he showed me his first introduction part of the book, which is the first character of the book. He asked me to go through, and then I was going through, and then I was really impressed of what he was writing. But after that first introduction part of the book, he stopped writing because he was busy with his other work. And so after a few break, lockdown happened, as we all know, and then during that lockdown period, he took that opportunity and then to complete his AMEND book. I was truly amazed, to see him how he gave his dedication, time, and energy to write this AMEND book. He was fully dedicating in writing his AMEND book. So anyway, like the story of his struggle goes like this. During the lockdown period, we were staying together in Bangalore in a rented apartment. And so as we were staying together, he gave his time, most of his time, busy writing his AMEND book, and then I was also busy with my academic research paper. So basically, we were both kind of busy in our own work, but something very unfortunate happened to him. His laptop got spoiled, and then I was feeling very sorry for him because I know how much he loved to write, and then how much he was dedicating himself in writing his book AMEND. I'm sure he was also, disappointed and then frustrated at one point of time, because uh, that was the only source where he get in touch with his work. And since again it was a lockdown period, he can't even get a new one. But I tell you, even after his laptop got spoiled, he did not give up to write. He started to type from his mobile phone. Now, like, this guy is kind of crazy, and then he was kind of unstoppable. If you guys will believe me or not, like, he completed his AMEND book by typing from his small smartphone. Of course, the editing part he did it later. But overall, the whole concept of the book he completed from his phone. Every day, uh, 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 every day he will take his smartphone and then he will sit in the corner of the room and then he will type for the whole day. Sometimes I used to remind him to take a break and then have his lunch or have his dinner, because I was kind of concerned for his health. It sounds very funny, but I took care of him like a mother. I know he will not agree on me on that, but that is what it happened, and that is true. Anyway, as I've said, this guy is crazy. When it comes to reading and writing, sometimes he will come to me and then he will complain that his hand is paining because the phone is too small for him to type, and then he will ask me to massage his hand, and then out of love, I did it many times. Anyway, to cut the story short, he wrote his first fictional book called "AMEND" from his small smartphone, and that is true. Uh, Colin Powell once said, and then I got him. A dream does not become a reality through a magic, but it takes a sweat, determination, and then a hard work. And that is what exactly Hegom did. He invested his time, his energy, hard work, and determinations. So that is how he make his dreams into a reality. And so, as a friend of Hegom, I feel so proud of him today. That in spite of all his challenges and difficulties that he faced, he managed to complete this book, Amen. I'm sure the book, Amen, have so many things to say to the readers. So therefore, like, I encourage all the readers, to take a copy, which is available in Amazon and in Flipkart. I'm sure all the readers will be able to relate ourselves and then get an inspiration from it. Once again, congratulations, Sir Heigomzoing Zeliang. I give my best wishes to you even in the future. Thank you so much, everyone, for giving me this time.
Thank you, Ketinlo, for your personal words, for walking us through the struggles of Heigom. We got to know a little bit of the struggle of how he is, what he is today. Thank you so much for sharing with us. We now have a very special person, someone who is very close to our author, Heigomzoing Zeliang. He's in fact his brother. Over to you, Mahi Zeliang.
Hello everyone, thank you so much for taking part in this virtual book launch of our brother Heigomzoing. Also welcome everyone on behalf of the family. Thank you so much for your love and support. I've always been looking forward for this book launch today for quite some time. But unfortunately, due to a conflict with my schedule, I cannot join you guys today. So I'm so sorry. And so I'm recording this message to share some few words for my brother Heigomzoing. First of all, it's a really proud moment for all, and especially for my brother Heigomzoing, and his dedication and staying true to his art, and to every individual who made today possible. I've always admired your work, and I am very proud and happy that you were able to complete your book in spite of all the other demands on your time. Growing up together and seeing how you reflect Your love for reading and your distinct character to leave a mark in this world has always inspired me, and I'm very proud of the great things you will accomplish over the years. I've got a feeling that this is only the beginning of even more great things to come for you. Last but not least, I want to congratulate you once again for your accomplishment, and we are super excited for you. It's a proud moment for our family, and I wish you all the success and great readership in the days to come. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Heigomzoing Zeliang, from the words from your heart. It just showed. Thank you very much. Now, Dr. Edward Ramani was supposed to release this book today, but currently he's hospitalized. We are saddened by this news, and we wish him Godspeed recovery. May he recover at the earliest. In his place, we have his very own daughter, Dr. Evangeline Ramani, Dr. Sujata Evangeline Ramani. And we are very thankful to you, ma'am, for being with us today, in spite of the challenging situation that your family is undergoing through. Thank you so much for being in our midst this very day. Now, I would like to just say a few words about her. Dr. Sujata Evangeline Ramani, she is a professor of civil engineering at Shastra, and that is Shanmuga Arts, Science, Technology and Research Academy in Trivandrum district in Tamil Nadu, India. So without further ado, I would like to hand over the time to our ma'am.
Thank you. It's a great pleasure to be here and share this very unique and warm, like a warm event. I see a lot of friends and family who are greeting the author. I'm really happy to be a part of this book release event. First, it's my responsibility to convey my dad's wishes for the author. Dad has always, from the day he was planning to release this book, he was saying the author was very close to him, and he considered him to be a very critically thinking person with a lot of analytical skills. One of those people who stood out to this class, and he had a lot of good thoughts for him. So on behalf of my father, I pass on the wishes of my father to the author. And about the book, I just got a copy of the book. So that's the book. I think it's sort of a mirror image, but anyway, it's a very interesting book, and I'm really happy to release this book. This book has a thought for everyone who reads it, and there's a good message. As we go through the sections of the book, I saw that there was a word or a phrase for every chapter that made everybody, throughout the book, when everybody reads, they will connect with the characters somewhere. That's a very great thing that the author had thought about. A avid reader myself, I know I read a lot of fiction, and as an avid reader, I feel that that is one of the deep understanding the author has about people who will read his book, and it tells about how the author really wants to connect with his readers, and also. The setting of the book also is a very interesting setting. Actually, today it addresses a very relevant problem in the society about alcoholism and depression, and how every one of us have a chance to, make our life better. Maybe not in this problem, but in every problem. So it gives a very optimistic feel about life, and it really holds on a light to all people who want to move forward and who want to go on with their life in a very positive way. So with this, I would like to release the book with best wishes for the author and happy reading for everybody who chooses to read this book. Thank you again. Wish you all the very best. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Ramani. We would like to applaud together. The book is officially released now. So please don't wait, grab a copy of it immediately for those who have still not got a copy of it. Now we would like to press on to words from recipients. I would like to firstly give the time to H. Rosemary. You may take your time.
The most beautiful people we know are those who have known defeat, known suffering, known struggle, and have found their way out of the depths. They have an understanding of life that fills them with compassion and beautiful people that hardship. And one of the most beautiful human I have known is the author of the book AMEND, Heigomzoing Zeliang. We have known each other for quite some time. He is always been there as a cousin and a friend to me. And I look up to him in so many ways. He is one who has a depth knowledge in his subject. His quest for knowledge is beyond willing to transfer knowledge. If I asked him a question, he would explain me from the inception, the formation, the theory. A true philosopher he is. And he always say that if he teach or share something, he would want that person to understand the concept to the to the best of his knowledge. So as his work are, when I read the draft, the beginning of this year, I couldn't stop myself from reading. I flipped the pages continuously and I completed within no time. So much to take away from his book. What I have learned is we all are battling in life in different forms because of the social, political, religious belief. In the midst of it, we lost ourselves. But what we can do is mend our mistakes before it's too late. Love and forgiveness is all we all need. I would like to pick two of my favorite lines from the book. It says, if one is a religious person, there is no need to argue with someone who believes in something else. The other is, sometimes in life it is easier to give advice to others, but it is hard to have one for ourselves. I have such a great respect and admiration for his work. I hope this book reaches out to millions of readers and become one of the best-selling books in this era. You are an inspiration to many youngsters, especially who wants to become a writer. I am so proud of you. Congratulations, Heigomzoing Zeliang. I am truly honored to be one of your book recipients. Thank you for having me. Thank you.
Thank you very much, H. Rosemary. Now we would move on. I would like to give the time to Asilio.
Hi, good evening, everyone. I cannot express just how oblivious I've been to speak on a book launch of a friend's. Hagum has been a good friend of mine for quite a long time, and we have known each other since childhood. And with certainty, I can validate his conviction to delve into deeper understanding with the commitment to unveil and distribute the knowledge to the people around him and beyond. Um, as an audience of his writings, I am elated to witness his new work, AMEND. Uh, when I first read the book, it transpired his conspicuous personality and thoughts in the story, giving life to the characters, which propelled me to keep reading. And as I read through, I speculated what is there to change or to alter, or what can I benefit from the book. It was through his distinct writings that taught me the imperative in the change of our perceptions, and that is what intrigued me to immerse more deeply into his thoughts. And to all the readers out there, I would like to say that you will not be disappointed with the book. You will not be disappointed at all. You will not regret. For it is filled with the actuality that we actually crave for in a book. And the author, Heigom, he did a really fine job in bringing out the intensity of the warfare within oneself. And subsequently, uh, it has added more depth, it has added more uh, weight to my perception of our life. Um, though the book is filled with fictional characters, the relevancy of the personality differences and the conflicts, it may be both psychological or physical. It extends to our context and our youths as well, bringing forth the distraught and the struggle of the people within oneself. Is not an unknown factor, but it never has been an unknown factor actually, and but it is often brushed under the rug. People don't usually talk about it out in the open, or we cannot even approach to the people just anywhere. And the fact that the author undauntedly accumulated those aspects and brought it to light gives a counter to those people that they are not the only one who is suffering in this journey alone. And in turn, it gives hope to those people that it is indeed okay to not be okay sometimes. And the the trajectory of our life is so uncertain. We don't know what will happen next, but every second and every minute that we breathe, it stimulates us to be more aware of our surroundings. It stimulates us to do something for the mass, for the people that we are surrounded with are not left feeling lonely or abandoned. For the weight of being abandoned, for the weight of being ignored is immeasurable. And AMEND has delivered this to me. And I would recommend this book to everyone, to every students, the educators, the workers in any organizations, in any fields, to and especially to all the youths. For the book may shift their perspective towards life. It may shift their lens towards life, resulting in more understanding and empathic future for all of us. Um, I wish you the best and thank you for this time.
Thank you, Asilo, for meticulously expressing your thoughts. Now, I would like to give the time to Hingaile Hirang. I hope I got the name right. It's yours.
Hello, am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Okay, thank you. Firstly, I would like to congratulate Mr. Heigomzoing Zeliang for successfully publishing the book. Congratulations, Heigomzoing, for this wonderful achievement. So there is a book called Nothing Lasts Forever by an American writer, Sidney Sheldon. So I would like to extend this phrase and state that nothing lasts forever, but only change is constant. Hello, a very good evening to all, and I hope everyone here is thrilled for this exciting moment like I am. The author, Mr. Heigomzoing Zeliang, is, gracious enough to give me this wonderful platform, and I'm delighted to speak as a book recipient. I wouldn't say much about his professional life because it's already said much before me. However, it will be incomplete if I didn't say what kind of person he is, or let's say what kind of person he is to me. I don't want to, and I won't flattered or neither distort. However, I would like to say something about Mr. Zeliang, how he inspired me, and what makes me to look up on him. The author, Mr. Zeliang, with an elegant literary attire, is a prolific writer, and it will be wrong to say that he knows everything, but it would not be wrong to say he knows a lot of things. Let's say he is well versed in philosophy, religion, and to keep it short, many aspects which are much relevant today, which is quite fascinating, and he had a good command on how to end conversation with a brainstorming question, which made me not only learn but sometimes to stop learning and to start thinking. Sometimes to live is quite challenging to all of us, but Mr. Zeliang is always gracious to take time out and be my mentor, help me to proceed even when it's challenging, and reminds me that life is not a bed of roses. He never failed to feed me intellectually, and I admire his courage, determination, his elegant writing style, and most important, his unwavering nature to help people. So I would not, it will not be too fancy to say he is a wonderful person and a young prolific writer. I would like to mention a bit about the book, particularly how it can influence people. In life, there is a lot of challenges we faced, an untold battle we fought, and we are still fighting. The book AMEND beautifully narrate about addiction, the struggles of life, and also about the depression that one had to go through. So there could be thousands and millions of people fighting against addictions or different kind of problems or addictions, different kind of addictions like alcohol, drug, porn, or like whatever. However, like whoever is fighting against any kind of addiction, I believe that this book AMEND would be able to easily relate. So it will not be an exaggeration to say that the book will be a great impact to people addicted to anything or in depression. I am positive that every one of us are at one point of time or in anything are addicted to something, like sleeping, solitude, or career, or it could be success, or it could be fame. So I believe that book AMEND would be relatable to all of us in one way or the other, to all the readers, or let's say to all the keen readers. Further, the author beautifully depicted how about the struggle of life and how one struggles and how one suffer from addiction and are yearning to amend. I believe that this kind of story is not only for a news reading, but can also be used as a self-help book or draw inspiration from this. To wind up, at one point of time, we all feel void or void. However, nothing lasts forever. It will amend if you wish to, and the void can be filled if you allow. I would like to urge to all the audience today, spread this good news and also don't hesitate to grab the book, feel to yourself and experience yourself by reading it. I'm sure you will enjoy it. Congratulations once again, and thank you for having me.
Thank you very much for urging us on to how this book is all about. Now, please ready yourselves, for we have One More Lights by Wepezo Mero.
Should have stayed so brilliant when the world was asleep. There are things that we can have but can keep if they say, who cares if one more light goes out in the sky of goes out, will I do? The reminders pull the floor from your feet. In the kitchen, one more chair than you need. Oh, and you're angry, and you should be. It's not fair. Just 'cause you can see it doesn't mean it isn't there. If they say, who cares if one more light goes out in the sky of a million stars? It flickers, flickers. Who cares when someone time runs out? If a moment is all we are, or quicker, quicker. Who cares if one more light goes out? Well, I do.
Thank you for your melodious song, Weapons of Marrow. Well, brace yourselves, everyone, because the moment that we have all been waiting is finally here. We're going to hear from our very own author, Heigomzoing Zeliang. But before that, I would like to say a few words about him. Well, he was my junior in college, but today he is a senior in the arena of writing because he has achieved so much by writing this book, and it's already been published. It's the book release of his very book. So happy, and I'm truly proud of him. And you know, he has been a voracious reader, and that has you know, helped him to channel his learning into a book publication today. And he hails from Dimapur, my very own hometown, Nagaland, and he is currently teaching religion and philosophy at Central India College in Bhopal. So without wasting much time, I would like to hand over the time to Heigomzoing Zeliang.
I hope I'm audible.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I'm overthrilled and nervous and filled with mixed feelings. I don't know where to start and how to start. I have a couple of people on my mind, you know, to make my gratitude, and the list is long, but please bear with me. I can't start any of my words without quoting these people and acknowledging these people. I will start with this. I've put it in this way, and I will start with this. I shared a room with one of my closest friend and one of my best friends, a rented house in Bangalore, and we stayed together. And taking my writing excuse, I've troubled him a lot. I've created a lot of drama, created a lot of sin, but he was always being there for me. He was always being kind, passionate, and always there for me. For that, I wanted to thank him, my best friend forever, Kitano Misent. And the second person, Rosemary, who is a fine lady and a gentlewoman. Actually, she is the first person to whom I shared my full manuscript. And she came back with an honest review. And she came with this comment saying that, I will quote exactly what she said. She said like this, soon you'll become a famous author, but don't forget me when you become one. I think this was one of the kindest compliments that I've ever received in my life. And maybe, I don't know, she was so inspired. I think before even I conceptualized to publish this book, late a year, he even gifted me a pen actually, which reached like heck one of the character, the protagonist of the book. So he was so fascinated. She was so fascinated, maybe, and she was inspired. That is what she commented, and she told me that one day, when you publish a book, please, give a signature with this pen. And today I'm bringing this pen just to prove her that I respect your gift, and I just wanted to honor that. Today I'm able to publish my book. I think for the friend, that rare friend that I have, like one like you. So I want to thank you. And the second person, things just caught up, and I lost my interest of publishing my work. Actually, I'm publishing this work after 1 year, and I've kept this work, under, somewhere, and I got lost interest of to publish this work. But then she came in rescue, and she came with a rejuvenating word saying that, no, why do you even write materials? When you are going to keep under your blanket. That is what she said. And I reflected upon her word, and then I decided, yeah, it's kind of true. Why do I even write so lengthy materials when I'm not even going to publish? That is the night I think I decided that I'm making a call to my publisher tomorrow, and then I'm starting the publication process. And that is how it happened. And today we are launching this book. I think she has played a very important role. If she did not say that kind of word to me, I think we would not be celebrating this program. So I want to thank Hirang for such kind word. That's fourth person, a long time and a good friend of mine. The first draft. Every time I write the first draft, the character that I inculcated in my writing, I wanted to give to her so that I get a comment. And this is what she will always come with. She will come with this. What's happening next? What is happening next? Actually, this keeps me thinking that there are at least someone who is interested in my writing, and I believe that there would be other people who might be interested in my writing, and that is as a result today. This book is being materialized, and today we are launching this program, this book. So I wanted to thank to Australia for always being there for me and commenting on my first draft. There are two important people in my life. They are always being there for me in both good and bad times. They were more like family rather than friends. And basically, I rely, most of the time for everything to them. Their love and support has always been, supporting a pivotal role in my life. And I want to thank Paul Rengma and Filatan Moiva for always being there for me, supporting me despite of all my weaknesses. My field, they know I have a lot of weaknesses, but they have always tried to cover up my weaknesses, and they have always been there for me. So I want to thank both of them today. And I wanted to thank these friends of mine, Hiroto, Hoka. If they are present, I think they will hear this out. I'm shouting out their name. Hiroto, Hoka, Peter Shinrei, Itan, and their son. These are the dudes I think they have always created an environment where we enjoy, and then we are able to learn from one another. So they are a great contributors in writing this book. So I wanted to thank them, and I believe they are able to understand what I meant when I say thank you. So I want to thank them. To whom I always admired and looked up to, Rosie Patton, who's in program today. I want to thank her for accepting my proposal, and also to both the singers. First of all, the Wipezo was my high school friend. He's been so gracious enough to take part in this program. I want to thank him, and I also wanted to thank Kei Zeliang for accepting my proposal and singing despite of the challenges that we have network issues in our place. But she have show up, so I want to thank to her. To my publishers, Blue Rose Publisher has passionately waited for me almost a year. I did not approve my manuscript for the publishing process, and they have been trying to reach me out, sir, when are you going to approve it? And then I said, wait out for some time, I'm editing. But actually I did not want to publish it, but then they have been so gracious with me, and then after waiting for 1 year, finally I decided to approve it, and then they have accepted my manuscript, and then today we are having this book. So I want to thank them for publishing my book. To my family and friend for their constant love and support. I think without them, I wouldn't be having this kind of success today. So I want to thank them, all of them. And to the most important person, obviously, is my sister, Itangle. She has brought me she has raised me up like a mother. I think without her sacrifice, her love and support, I wouldn't be even knowing what is A today. I'm all today. I think it's because of her tirelessly love and support towards me in whatever thing I do. So I want to thank her today on this book launch program, just to make sure that to get recognition for behind my success. To my guru, Dr. Edward Ramani, who's always been so kind. I know his life inspired me in so many ways, not only in academic environment, but his life has impacted me in so many ways. For that, I want to thank him today. And though he is not able to launch my book, release my book, but he has been gracious enough to let his daughter release the book. So I want to thank Dr. Sujata also for releasing my book. I request everyone to pray for our Dr. Edward Ramani for his speedy recovery of health. And to the great teacher, Lord Buddha, I wanted to thank the Lord Buddha because I have found his teaching to be very profound and valuable in my life. Though I was writing fictional book, but his methodology of looking at things in praxis and practically has helped my work to recheck and then repolish my work. So today, though this book is considered to be fiction, but most of the time you will see practical application, which I basically derive from Lord Buddha teaching. To my hero and my savior, Lord Jesus Christ, I think who has inspired me in my life and taught me the fundamental values of existence. That is to love and forgive, no matter how hard it is. Because ultimately, at the end, I think at the end, every human being has these two longingness, without which every human existence is futile. For that, I wanted to thank Lord Jesus Christ for imparting me such kind of values in my life. Without knowing him, I think I wouldn't be what I am today. And I wanted to connect this point with one of the messages that I received lately. I got a message in my phone lately, and that very person messaged me one of the kindest messages that I've received lately. And the message reads like this. It reads like, she said she has literally shed tears when she went through one of the chapters of my book. And I wanted to say this, that very chapter, actually, I drew the inspiration from the teaching of Jesus Christ. That is the love and forgiveness. And I'm happy that my objective of portraying these very two values has inspired people and people are able to connect it. For that, I'm very happy. Having said all these things, acknowledgement, now I want to talk a little bit about my book so that you get a little bit concept of what my book is all about. Let me paint a scenario of how this book actually got conceptualized. In the maybe I remember in the month of December 2019, I actually decided to write a book, not AMEND. Actually, I decided to write an abstract philosophical thoughts where I can be, use it for my research purpose and also to help other students. That is what I have actually decided to write it in my first place. But then, in 2020, then the whole world shut. And during this lockdown, I have observed these two events, and I think that two events has got pregnant in my mind, and this is what book has got conceived, and AMEND is what it is today because of these very particular events. The first event I wanted to give you is that during this lockdown, we could able to reflect so many things, but one of the reflections that I pondered is that they were locked down and all the shops were closed. And when the date of lockdown was lifted, I have observed that people were not bothered. Many people, particularly the group of people were not bothered about anything, but they were bothered about alcohol. And I could, because I was in Bangalore at that time, and we also went out just to get our needs. And that was a time I saw maybe hundreds or even thousands people were in the queue, just behind the bar, just to get a bottle of alcohol. The people were in the queue, and I was amazed. How could people be so desperately be in the queue for just one bottle of alcohol? And I also got the privilege to talk to one of the guys, and he said, my wife is bothered about getting vegetables, but I am bothered about getting this very bottle of alcohol. And that very particular words has inspired me, and I went back home and I reflected, and I thought, oh, it fascinated me that how addiction could be so could be picked at that kind of level there, where things are going in the world, but still then they are in a position prioritizing their habits, drinking habits. So that has fascinated me, and then this has fascinated me and started to delve more deeper in the subject of addiction. And then I started writing this this book in a fictional way, because people don't read academic materials mostly. So I wanted to fashion my book in a fiction way where people are able to relate and then able to enjoy the books, not using big vocabularies in my book. So this is how I started. And then I found out that there are myriad factors that leads to addiction, such as like genetical factors. Some are culturally influenced, and some are influenced by friends. Parents are not able to raise the children right. Childhood dramatic. All these cause lead to addiction. And so we have, as a human being, and maybe on my part also, we have failed to look people who are being addicted to alcohol or any kind of substance. We have failed to look at them in bigger perspective. I think we have started to judge them even before knowing them. I think that is one of the issues that we are having today. And then we are not able to look them as a kind of sickness, but we are looking at them from the moral perspective. If the person is drinking alcohol, they're wrong. They are not a moral person. That is what our conclusion derives when we look at any person, but we are not looking at them, we're not trying to reach them out. So that is one of the intriguing concepts that have inspired me to write this very book. And I think, and I've read and I've observed celebrities' life, and I've also observed my friends, close friends who has lost their life, with substance. So this has hit me hard, and I have realized that when addiction hits, I think it hits despite of your ethnicity, despite of your status. You may be very rich, your status may be big, low. It doesn't care actually. When addiction hit, it will hit anyone. And I think we need to understand this subject in a deeper context and from the deeper lens, and then only we will realize that when this addiction becomes what we call affected, that person doesn't right their life anymore. Addiction becomes a driver in their life. And I think it is in this context we need a red signal where we need a stop. And I think that signal could be any one of us who are in sober mind. And to approach them, I think we need to know the subject better instead of just labeling them as someone immoral person. And when we do that, I think we will be able to help those people. And I wanted to give hope to people who are being affected by this very addiction problem. I wanted to give hope with this book that you may find hope that it's okay sometimes to be not okay. We have lots of issues in life. I think we all struggle in life, but I wanted to give you some solution through this book that I can't share with you at the moment because you won't buy my book. So that is one of the reasons I'm just highlighting my concept here, and your application you can find in the book. And the second concept, events which inspired me to write this book, is that I did not want to bring this subject, but I needed to bring this subject because without this, it would be invalid. During this time when COVID hit, unfortunately, I couldn't able to go home, travel back home, and something very tragedy took place in our family. Actually, one of my cousin sisters, I didn't know that she was sick, and actually no one actually knew that. So we were texting each other actually for some quite of time, and I didn't know that this is coming. I was texting her, and then we were saying hi, hello, how I'm doing, and she was a very close cousin of mine, and then we were doing quite fine, and I didn't know that she was sick, or no, I did not bother to ask also. And then after 2 weeks, a call came from one of my cousin brothers. He called up and said, she's no more. And I couldn't believe those messages. I thought I wish that was hearsay. It's not true. But eventually we have to accept the reality. And I couldn't believe that actually happened. And that has really disturbed my mind. I couldn't go there because of the situation. And this has really bothered me. And then I thought to pen down because that struggle I felt, and I believe my cousin sister's family has been through that struggles. From that moment, I think I wanted to, from that very incident, I wanted to give an application here that has taught me that life is so uncertain. Today we are here and tomorrow we are not. For that, I wanted to give an example. The other day I was in my room. Every time, we have light on all the time because we live in a city, so we don't bother about if the lights go. So the light went off, and then I started to walk very carefully because I did not want to get hit or I do not want to fall. Then I realized actually in life, most of the time we take things for granted. Exactly, I think we should have this level of consciousness when I think if we inculcate this kind of consciousness in life, I think we will realize that actually we don't have time for hatred. We don't have time to talk bad about others. We don't have time for all those sorts kind of things that we are having in the world today. Actually, if we have this kind of consciousness, we will realize that we don't have time for bullshit. I think we don't have time for all this nonsense in this world that is taking place. Actually, when we realize that we know that time is brief, and in that time, I think we need to love one another. We need to forgive one another, because I didn't know that my sister is passing away. If I knew that, I would have loved her. I would have called her. But life is uncertain. This has taught me that life is uncertain, and we need to always live a conscious life. Never take life for granted. Never take granted. Never take friends, family, or anyone for granted. I think we should always live with that kind of consciousness, to love one another, because we don't know what is happening next. And with that said, having this concept, the primary objective of this book is to portray this message that we suffer in life in different level, and we don't understand, we don't know each other's suffering. But I believe suffering is real, and it's a reality, and we can ignore it. But in that time of suffering, how do we respond it? That is very important, and that is what this book is try to convey the message. So I draw the characters of Mr. Heck, who is a writer, addicted to alcohol, and then I also draw the character of Mrs. Zara, who was born as an orphan, trying to find out her root. They both have these different kind of suffering in their life, but eventually they were able to find a way to solve out their problem, and then they were able to amend in their life. And this is the message that I gave in my book, and hopefully this will speak to all the readers as they read. Having get the concept, now I wanted to read a little portion from my book, which I think one of my favorite part. It's from chapter 25 and the last part. I wanted to read this one. Please bear with me for some time, and then I will conclude it. And it goes like this. 29 days have passed, the same rhythm of routine we followed. Meditation, group and individual sessions, and some recreational activities. But today it is getting a little different. Every end of the month, they are used to host a speaker to share a sense of inspiration and hope for the residents and for those who have completed the treatment for their future. The speaker delved into practical issues like rebuilding the career, post-treatment, or simply offer motivational talk and story to uplift the spirit. Not any others, but Miss Kimberly is the speaker today. A sharp, charismatic, self-confident, and assured young lady. Her eyebrows are slender with a velvet eyelash, she-named ears, and a keyshole nose. That is how her face is described. She has a glossy skin complexion, wasted, thin body, and a shapely figure. She sounds so angelic, her stage presence so alluring, playful, humor and happy, and a sharpness of her subject. Her personality, so graceful and grand all put together, makes her a perfect badass and beautiful. Everyone pays the attention as she opens her mouth and narrates an illustration. Please listen to, pay attention, this one is interesting. Once upon a time, on a sunny afternoon, some people saw an old woman looking for something outside of her hut. What is going on? What are you looking for? The people would ask. I lost a needle, the old woman said. And all of the people present started to look for a needle together with the old woman. After some time, someone asked her, this street is very long and the needle is very small. Why don't you tell us precisely where you dropped it? I drop it inside of my house, said the old woman. Woman, have you gone mad? If you drop the needle inside your house, then why are you looking for it out there? Someone questioned. Because there's a sunlight outside here, but there is no one inside of my house, replied the old woman. Now, Miss Kimberly implied, sometimes we look for a thing outside of us, unaware that we could find these things inside. Even if we lose some time, like happiness, where can we lose happiness? We cannot lose it outside. The only way you have lost happiness is when it is somewhere inside of you and you cannot find it anymore. And because of this sadness, it is dark inside of you. So you have no light and you don't think that you cannot find happiness inside you. So you look outside, you go outside, maybe you get drunk, you get drugs or whatever. But no matter how sunny and light it is outside, no matter how many places you look for happiness, you won't find it because you never lost it outside. It is still inside of you. So this is the few lines that I wanted to read. And I wanted to thank everyone who have not take part in joining to this online virtual book launch. Thank you for your love and support. Yeah, thank you. I hand over the time to Rosie.
Thank you so much, Heigomzoing Zeliang, for speaking from the heart. It was quite insightful. We are not done yet, just kidding, but spare me about a minute or two. Well, for those of you who want to, communicate with him directly, he is on all the social media platforms. He goes by his full name, the username, Heigomzoing Zeliang, and you can find him on Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, and WordPress. And not just that, but now that we have been introduced to the book by the author himself, the book has been officially released. Let's try to grab a copy each of this very book, which is available in all the popular shopping sites. I know this is the festive season and we would love to do online shopping, most of us. So while you're at it, these are the places where you will be able to find the book: Amazon, Flipkart, Kindle, Goodreads, and bluerosepublishers.com. So please don't waste time, but try to get a copy of it. And you can do this. You can use it as a gift this Christmas to your loved ones. Now, I thank everyone for joining us again today. It is all because of your participation, for your joining us, that this program has been successful. So I just want to say thank you, and I want to shout out and say, congratulations to Heigom for really achieving such an accomplishment. We are so proud of you. And lastly, signing off, I just wish everyone a wonderful evening. Make sure that you get your good night's rest. Have a good day, everyone. Good night.
Good night. Good night. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, the host and the boss of the meeting.
Good night. Good night.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone. Bye.
Thank you. Bye, brother.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.